Hey cuties, I'm Lanikia, and this is what happened on the Soaps Days of Our Lives edition. Today is Thursday, May the 12th, 2022. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this a solid 7, 7.5, because I do like the people that were on here today, and I feel like this moved the storyline along. Now, y'all know I like me some Gwen, so I was glad to see her growth on today's episode. And the reason I say that is because, so she had a lot of visitors today. So we see that Ava is in there with Gwen and she offers her an escape. She says, listen, you want to bust out of here? I'm going to help you escape. You got no money. You got no lawyers. You got no family. You don't have anything. I'm your best option at this point. And so Gwen said, what's in it for you? Now, Ava don't tell her that I'm scared to death you're going to drug me up. Because that's really why Ava is doing this. But she doesn't tell her that. She just says, listen, I did you dirty and I don't like that I did that. So this is why I'm doing this. And Gwen said, I'll think about it or whatever. So Ava writes down her number to a burner phone and says, here, take this number and let me know. You're short on time or whatever. So I need to know as soon as you know. And she said, all right. So then Ava leaves. Well, when Ava leaves, Jack comes in. And when Jack comes in, he just tells Gwen that she's happy to see him. She said, I thought you were going to be gone forever. And he said, your life has been so much pain that all you know to do is conflict pain on other people. And because of that, I won't turn my back on you. And he says, so I spoke to Justin and he's going to work out a plea deal for you. If you plead guilty to the lesser charges, you only get 5 years. And she said, 5 years. And he said, listen, that's a lot better than what you was facing. And she was like, she thought about it and she was like, you're right. So he said, just let me know what you think or whatever. And I'll, just let me know. All right. So then we see that Xander comes in and visits her. Now Xander has been with Maggie, and Sarah, and we see that Sarah has come back to being Sarah. So they're elated by the news. They're happy that Sarah is Sarah again. And Kayla has to run a lot of tests and everything on her. So while she's doing that, Maggie is like, I gotta go and run an errand. So I guess Maggie left, and Xander was like, well, I need to run a quick errand too. So he leaves. So now he's at the precinct with Gwen. And when he comes in, he says, I told your dad the good news. And she was like, Xander, because first of all, she was shocked to see him. She didn't ever think she was going to see him again. So when he comes in, she's like, Xander. And he says, I had to tell your dad the good news. And she said, what good news? And he tells her the antidote worked. And he wanted to thank her for that. And she says, it's the least that she could do, the very least. And she told Jack the same thing. And, he tells her they talk about the 5 years and all of that, and he says not that it's a long time, but it's not that long considering, and she understands that. And so then they talk, and she says, but before you go, I have to tell you something. And he was like, okay. And she said, when I met you, I didn't like you or whatever. And he was like, you wanted me to stay to say that? And she's like, let me finish. And she was like, I didn't like you. I thought you were a thug, this arrogant jerk. And she was like, I just couldn't stand you. She said, but then I saw that softer side of you, and I knew you were so much more than that. And she said, and I was a woman who had never had love in my life. And then here you come along and you love me unconditionally. Like, you did things like you went to prison for me. You gave $1 million for me. You lied for, like, you did all these things for me. And I'm someone that's never had unconditional love or anyone to love me or show affection towards me. And here you are giving me all of these emotions and affections and love and caring and tenderness. And she just latched on to it, and something clicked in her head, and she just could not let him go. And she said, and I did horrible things because I wanted you to be in my life so bad. I could not imagine you not being there. And she just couldn't let it go. She just had to have him. She said, so I knew that you were in love with Sarah, and I know that that's the love of your life. But the thought of losing you it triggered something in her, and so that's why she did what she did to Sarah. But she tells him, she thanks him because he taught her that she's worthy of love, and he taught her that she deserves to be happy, and he taught her that she could give love, and that she has to give it the right way. It has to be a healthy love and everything. And so she just thanks him and tells him she's a better person for knowing him and everything. And so you could see Xander was moved, and she says, so I'm going to give you back your engagement ring and everything. And she gives it back, and she just lets him know thank you, and she was like, I probably will never see you again, but I just wanted you to know that before you left. Yeah, that was I was like, I'm glad to see Gwen has grown, because I do like the Gwen character, and so I hope that they can turn her around. Like, you do it so much for the other people on this soap. Let Gwen be somebody that can change as well. Um, and so then we see that she calls Ava, and Ava says, so you're calling me, so I'm guessing you're accepting my offer. And Gwen says, no, I'm not. I'm not going to accept your offer. She said, my dad is working with, got with Justin, and I'm going to get 5 years. And she said, Gwen, that's a lot of time. And she said, for me to prepare what I've done and still have the possibility to have a family and be a good person and find love and my own happiness, 5 years is nothing. And I was like, look at you, Gwen. Look at you, girl. You all mature and stuff. And so she was like, so I'm not going to take you up on the offer. I'm going to serve my time. I'm going to start making things right with people, and everything. And I just want to be a better person. And Ava was like, all right, best of luck. And she said, I'm gonna need it, girl. And so they get off the phone, and that's it with Gwen and the Ava storyline today and all them. So then we go back to who else did we see today? So then we go and we see um Anna. So Anna got her bags, baby. Anna is like, I'm getting out of here. Y'all have to send me to prison. She said, and Tony is like, where you going? She said, my trial starts tomorrow. I'm down for the count. Like, they finna take me out. She said, Victor and Maggie are furious at me for what I did to Sarah. She said, so I'm out of here. So he was like, no, you can't leave. And she said, I love you, but you ain't got no choice in this matter. So she's getting ready to go. And of course, it's Maggie at the door. And she says, Maggie said, you going somewhere? She says, oh yeah, I talked to you. And Maggie said, well, I need to talk to you. She's like, no, I don't got time. She's like, I'm trying to escape, girl. Leave me alone. But Maggie said, you're going to want to hear this or whatever. So then Maggie tells her, I forgive you, for what went wrong. She said, had Sarah, excuse me, Gwen not switched the antidote, then Sarah would have been herself. So what you did, even though, it was reckless, if she had had the right medicine, it would not have hurt her. And so I thank you for that. I'm not gonna press charges and everything. I'm gonna drop the charges and all that. And so Anna is very happy about this. And so when Maggie leaves, she and Tony just talk, and they're reminiscing. And so they decide, let's go and put a flower on Renee's grave. So they go in, and they put the flower and everything on Renee's, because they go to the crypt, the Demera crypt. And while they're there, they actually see a Binky, and they said, who been here with a baby? And they said, oh my gosh, that's Sierra's baby. That means they were here, but where are they now? So that's that. And then, speaking of Maggie, so we go back to the hospital, and Kayla's come in. They've been checking on Sarah, and she's doing much better. The tests look great and everything. So, Xander and Maggie are through the roof ecstatic about it. And so Sarah's just like, when Xander was still gone, but Sarah was like, "Oh my God, I saw my hair." She said, well, "I got ponytails. I haven't worn that since I was a little girl." But remember, she was a little girl, and Maggie was loving her in that stage, but she couldn't stay that way forever. And so Maggie said, "I'll cut your hair like you used to when I was a little girl." And she was like, "Yeah." She said, "Plus Xander likes it when it's short." And so Maggie got refreshed and everything, and she looks always gorgeous. And so then we see that Xander comes in and he was like, "Oh, I like it." And she was like, "Yeah, it's me again." And so she says, "All right." Kayla says, "You can't leave yet. We're still waiting on like tests and all that kind of stuff." And she was like, "Oh, I'm so ready to go home." And then she was like, "But the more pressing thing, I'm ready to see her." And they were like, "Who? Like, what are you talking about? You ready to go home for what?" She was like, "My baby, of course. Where's my baby?" And they looked, Maggie and Xander looked at each other. I said, "Oh, all the memories not back." She will have all the memories, and so she's gonna get there. I was reading spoilers and all that kind of stuff. She's going to get there, and hopefully, she and Xander can, stay the course and be together, continue. But that was Days of Our Lives, guys. Don't forget, if you want to, you can like, comment, and subscribe. Even if you don't, I'm still going to be doing these videos. So you could just check them out whenever you see them in your recommendation or they drop. All right, guys. Thank you so much for your time, and you enjoy the rest of your day.